This was clearly the wedding the girl had dreamed of all her life. But just as she waited for her childhood sweetheart, the groom, to appear, her best friend suddenly rushed over with devastating news.
He's not coming.
Josie couldn't believe it. How could her boyfriend abandon her at a time like this? What she never imagined was that years later, the same Mike who'd left her would become a huge star. So that morning, when Mike woke up in a fan's bed and saw his shabby old phone, so out of place with his current status, crushed under the girl's foot, panic flashed across his face. He bolted out without a second thought, rushing anxiously into a phone repair shop. It wasn't until the manager personally fixed it, and a familiar ringtone came from the device, that Mike finally relaxed. But then news hit. His childhood best friend had died in an accident. Mike's expression turned grave instantly, determined to bid his friend a final farewell. He returned to his long-neglected hometown, unsure how to face the familiar faces. He sat quietly far from the crowd. Yet as he stood up to leave, he ran into his ex-girlfriend, seeing the little girl beside Josie. A bitter ache welled up in his chest. After the memorial, Mike went home. The next day, he greeted his father, then stared at the roses his mother had planted. Now overgrown and neglected, overcome with guilt, he wandered outside, only to spot Josie walking into a flower shop. The moment they met, Josie snapped at him, leaving Mike frozen in place. He stayed silent until a customer paid, then followed Josie to see them out. "Just leave," Josie told him sharply. But before Mike could explain, Josie's daughter appeared, changing everything. The little girl's words filled Mike with excitement. When he asked her age, she said she was 7, and Mike froze. 7 years old, exactly the length of time he'd been gone. Josie, who just sent their daughter away, knew she couldn't hide it anymore. "A few weeks after you left," she admitted, "I found out I was pregnant. I tried to find you, but I couldn't, so I decided I'd never contact you again."